So I'll start with a little bit of a few words about innovation and why is innovation more important today than ever? Well, to answer that, I thought, why are my clients innovating? There are three main reasons why my clients are innovating, or they say they're innovating. Number one is fear of disruption. We use corporate innovation as a way to manage disruption, as a way to manage the risk of disruption. So it's our strategy, it's our risk mitigation strategy. Now, is it relevant today? I mean, is the risk of disruption decreasing in our world today? I don't think so. I mean, if you've seen what's happening with AI, what's been happening the last couple of months, I think there are a lot of people who are wondering what the impact will be on their business model, and they're worried about disruption right now. So this is more relevant than ever. Now, another reason why my clients innovate is to look for new growth, this hunger for growth. I mean, today our shareholders less demanding of growth outcomes, meeting your targets, etc. No one told me so. I mean, you still have, as leaders, to deliver on your numbers. So this is still more relevant than ever. Innovation has a role to play in helping deliver new growth. And the third reason why we innovate is to manage a highly uncertain environment. When you can't see very far, rather than building a plan and executing it, it's better to run small experiments and chart your way based on what you learn. And this is also more relevant than ever. I mean, if you think again, AI, what's going to happen? Not only to our businesses, but to us. If you think about other things that we had to face in the last 3 years, things like, of course, COVID, or if you think of how quickly the power dynamics between employees and employers have shifted in both directions in 18 months. This is crazy level of uncertainty. Inflation, some leaders never had to manage that level of inflation in their career. So a lot of uncertainty. And corporate innovation is a way that we can help manage that uncertain world. So for me, innovation, corporate innovation, is more relevant today than it ever was for those three reasons. So managing the risk of disruption, delivering on growth ambition and targets, and then developing that ability to adapt, testing and learning to a highly uncertain environment. Okay, now that's clear, but there will be a lot of hurdles along the way. And the way that we have organized the day is to give you very different perspectives so you get lots of different tips and tricks and approaches that you can use to overcome some of those hurdles. I'll start with I think the two most important hurdles in the 3 minutes that I have left. So the first one, the first hurdle to overcome, I call it, how different is innovation? There's a big misconception in our heads collectively and in the heads of leaders around the way that things should be done. And many leaders think that things are done one way. That's the way we do things here. And that can be a big blocker to innovation. Now, the way we like to think about overcoming that hurdle is by using that simple framework called explore and exploit. And you'll hear that framework a lot. Different graphical charts, different representations, black and white, color, etc. But you'll see that this framework is present in a lot of the presentations you'll see today. And explore and exploit, the idea is quite simple. Everything in a business lives along this continuum. Even a very established business, we have very established businesses in the room, representative of very established businesses in the room. Every established business was once just an idea in the head of someone. And maybe that person shared that idea and explored that idea with a group of people, and they invested a little bit of money and they developed it. And over time, it became that established thing. But things are pretty different on both ends of this continuum. So your focus is different. If you're focusing on the exploit side, it's all about efficiency and growth, managing the existing business. On the other side, it's about searching for something new, a new product, a new service, a new business. And the big difference is the uncertainty. On the exploit side, the uncertainty is relatively low. Doesn't mean that it's not complicated. I mean, it's super complicated to manage a business, but there are a lot of things you know. You know your customers, your product, your services, the laws of the country, the regulations you have to follow, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of known things. On the explore side, you might be wanting to create something using a technology you don't know for customers you've never serviced. You don't even know if there's potential or a possible product there. Everything is uncertain. So you're managing high uncertainty. And because there is high uncertainty, everything is different. It changes everything. The way you invest money is different. On the exploit side, you can make safe bets about the kind of returns you're going to have. Companies that are listed on the stock exchange, they're actually assessed on their ability to make a forecast and deliver on this forecast. So you can plan and execute in that world. But you cannot plan and execute in the other world. You have to make small bets, more like the venture capital world. You make a lot of small bets, and those some of them will be successes, but most of them will fail. And that's okay, that's part of the process. So, oops, wrong. So the culture and process very, very different as well. Again, because of the high uncertainty, it makes no sense to plan and execute on the explore side. You have to work iteratively. You know, you're de-risking something, so you're clarifying the risk area. You're running an experiment to test this. You're looking at the results. Based on the results, you make your next decision. Is there potential there? What should I test next, et cetera, et cetera. Very different from the plan and execute process we can use on the exploit side. And then people, of course, are different as well. And there's a big people angle to the conversation we will have today. And that's actually what Tendai will talk about next. So first hurdle, be aware that explore is radically different than exploit. Most of the time, things turn sour in corporate innovation because leaders approach it with the exploit mindset. They approach it with the wrong mindset, the wrong toolkit, the wrong process, high expectations, wrong approach, recipe for a catastrophe, a lot of tears. This is what happened here. Look at Rafa and Roger, unless I'm completely mistaken about what's happening there. Second hurdle, what type of innovation are you talking about? So innovation, one of the problems we face when we talk about innovations is that nobody has a clue what we're talking about. It's so confusing, a conversation about innovation. And to illustrate that, I use this metaphor of the Tower of Babel. You know, if you don't speak the same language, you might want to create that high tower, but you will never manage. You'll never manage to deliver the outcome. Because when I talk about innovation, I might be talking about new ways of working, and you might be talking about a very strategic shift that you're thinking for the organization. I might be talking about a new product, and you might be talking about a change in the business model. So we cannot understand each other. Or we might be talking about a different organization, innovation on the organizational side. So very different to understand each other. Now, one thing that I found useful, there are many different types of innovation, but one thing that I found useful is to at least clarify to the first breakdown we could think of, and that's 3 types of innovation. And here I borrow from Clay Christensen. So Clay Christensen was a Harvard Business School professor, very big thought leader in the space of strategy, in the space of innovation. We owe him the theory of disruption, 3 types of innovation, a lot of contribution that he died in 2020, but his legacy still lives. So Clay talks about 3 types of innovation, and he says there's efficiency innovation. So if we use Amazon as an example, Amazon using robots in their warehouse, that's super innovative. That's the first time in the world we use robots to manage warehouse like that. Now that's efficiency innovation. That makes their warehouse management process more effective. Maybe they can handle more volume. Maybe over time, you know, warehouse management is less expensive, But if collectively we decide that we're never going to order anymore from Amazon and only shop local, then those robots cannot help Amazon survive that shift in our behaviors. So efficiency is important. It plays a role. It's the closest type of innovation to our current world, but it's not the only one. We also need to work on new product and service, or new geographies, or new ways of delivering the value we deliver today, maybe in a more digital way. So that's called sustaining innovation. You're still working in the same area, but it's the next generation of solving that customer job, solving that customer need. So when Amazon decided they were not only a reseller of books, but they could create a product, the Kindle, that helps their customers read electronic books, they're not far from the need of customers to read books, but they are offering something that is slightly different. It's the next generation of solving that need. So that's sustaining innovation. Now there's a third type that we call transformative innovation. And transformative innovation is when I'm going to create an entirely new business model, solving problems for new customers. Like if you think of Amazon Web Services, now after years running an e-commerce platform, I am so good at IT, data center management, etc., that I'm thinking, what if I use that skill set to build a business to enable other organizations to sell online? And I'm going to create that service for other people. Those people, they're very different from the people like you and I who were buying books online. They're just a different customer segment and a different value proposition for them, leading to a different business model that sits alongside the e-commerce business model. So that's it. 3 types of innovation. Let's not get stuck in conversations where we have no clue what we're talking about, where we might be talking about different things. Let's at least use those 3 different types of innovation to spot, clarify our differences, see if we're talking about the same thing.